Good morning, students. Today's topic is instruction formats. We know the format of instruction. Yes, we know the format of instruction. Okay, the three fields are the address field and the opcode field. Okay, so these are the two major fields, opcode and address, the operation code and address field, and the third field is the mode field. So here, the format of instruction code, if we see the instruction fields are operation code field that specifies the operation to be performed, correct? That says what is the operation to be performed by the computer. And we have the address field that designates memory address or a processor register. Okay, the address can be addresses the location of the operand. When the operation code says what is the operation to be performed, we need to know know what data the operation is to be performed. Okay, so and where it is located. So to find the location of the operand, location of the data on which the operation is to be performed, we need the address. It may be kept in memory or it may be there in the register, one of the processor register. So this address field may contain the address of the memory location where the data is stored, or it may be a processor register. Okay, in one of the register, the data may be stored. And if it is a memory address, the address may be, we have learned that it is memory address or a register address, okay, depending on where the data is available. And if it is memory address, it is a binary number of n bits that defines one of the 2 power n memory words, correct? For the computer that has memory of size 2 power n memory words, n bits are used to represent the address. Okay, n binary bits are used to define the address. Okay, that defines one of 2 power n memory words. And the register address, in case of register address, if the address field has register address, the binary number of k bits that defines one of 2 power k registers. Okay, that is, if the computer has 2 power k registers, we need k bits of k binary bits to represent the address. If suppose the computer has 4 registers, okay, so the number of bits in the instruction format, the number of bits used to specify the register address would be 2. Okay, 2 power 2 is 4, so we need 2 bits. It's like the register will be numbered like first register, okay, R0, R1, R2, and R3. These are the 4 registers. Okay, the memory address will be assigned like as there are 4 registers, we need 2 bits to specify the address. So the first register, the address of first register is 00, the 2-bit combination. 01 represent the second register, okay? And the third register, 10, 11, okay? This denotes the address of the fourth one, the binary bit 11. And if the CPU has 8 registers, okay, if there are 8 registers in the CPU, then it is 2 power 3 is 8, right? So we need 3 bits to represent the address of these 8 registers. So it is, the memory address would be like 000 represents register R1, 001 R2. Okay, this way the address is assigned. Okay, we need k bits that define one of the 2 power k registers. And the other field is mode field. Okay, we will learn about this in detail later. Specifies the way the operand or effective address is determined. Okay, so here operation code, we know it is to specify the operation, and still we will learn about this in detail. And mode field, okay, also we will learn in detail the addressing mode, the different types of addressing modes we will study. Okay, and here in this class, we are going to focus on this part, the address field. Okay, the address field of an instruction set can have one address, a single address, or it can have more number of addresses, okay, depending on the operation performed, and it depends on the entirely depends on the internal organization of the CPU. Okay, so this we are going to learn in this class about the address field. The number of address fields in the instruction format depends on the internal organization of the CPU. So the three most common CPU organizations, okay, to understand this, the number of address, to understand this address field, we need to know the CPU organizations because it is purely dependent on the internal organization of the CPU, okay. So the most common CPU organizations are, the first one is single accumulator organization. Okay, in this organization, the accumulator register is used implicitly for storing the data. Okay, you need to remember that in single accumulator organization, accumulator, it is a special purpose register, right? In CPU, we have a special register called accumulator, and that is used for performing any operation. One operand will be, one data will be there in accumulator. We don't need to specify that explicitly. Okay, like if suppose we write the instruction add R1, R2, this means the meaning of this instruction is add the content of registers R1 and R2. Okay, so R1 plus R2, and the result will be stored in R1. Okay, that is the meaning of this instruction. Here we are specifying explicitly, we are saying first register is R1 and the second data is in R2. Okay, but when we use accumulator in single accumulator organization, okay, in this type of CPU organization, accumulator is by default, it is used as the register for storing the data. Okay, the data, the data before the operation or after performing the operation to store the result. Okay, so implicitly, the accumulator is specified implicitly. So the instruction format used by this type of organization has one address. Okay, if you see this, here are two instructions given, add X and load X. Okay, the meaning of this instruction, add X, is add the content of memory, okay, at this particular location. Okay, the location is, sorry, add the content of memory at location X to the content of, to the data in the accumulator. Okay, so what is the instruction here? M of X means the content of memory at location X. The location is named as X. So here this means memory at location X and add this data, okay, at location X in memory to the content of accumulator and store the result in accumulator. Okay, so the data is stored in accumulator, but this accumulator register is not used in the instruction. Okay, it is add X, only the memory address is given. X is the memory address. The data in the memory at location X need to be added to the data in the accumulator, and the result also need to be stored in the accumulator. Accumulator is implicitly specified. Okay, so in the single accumulator organization, when such instruction is given, automatically accumulator is taken as the other operand. Okay, data in the accumulator is considered as the other operand, and the result will get stored in the accumulator. And the next instruction, if you see, load X. Okay, what is the meaning of this instruction? Load the content of memory at location X into accumulator. Okay, here accumulator is the implicit register. The instruction load, it uses the other register. Okay, in this organization, single accumulator organization, the accumulator is taken as the default register. Okay, so the memory address is stored in the accumulator. This is the first type of organization. And the second type of CPU organization is general register organization. Okay, we know that there are general purpose registers. Okay, we have learned many special purpose registers Like accumulator is one of the special purpose register, okay, in CPU, available in CPU, where the data is stored, okay, by default. And there are other special purpose registers like program counter. Okay, why is it called a special purpose register? Because it has a special purpose. Okay, this PC is always used for keeping track of the instruction, next instruction. Okay, keeping the address of the next instruction. So it is used for this purpose only. So it is a special purpose register. And we have also learned about SP. What is SP? Yes, what is SP? Yes, it is stack pointer. Okay, it is, we learned it when we learned about stack. So this is the register specially used for point to the top of the stack. Okay, so this is stack pointer. Same way we have instruction register. This is to store the instruction. Once it is fetched from memory, it is stored in register IR. And we have AR. This specifies, no, this is specially used for storing the address. These are all special purpose registers. And we have general purpose register that varies. The number of general purpose registers used depends on the, it varies in different processors. Okay, so if there may be n general purpose registers numbered from 0 to n, okay, R0, they are generally numbered as R0, R1, etc. up to Rn. Okay, so here the CPU that has n general purpose registers will have the registers named from R0 to Rn. So these, in this general register organization, instead of single accumulator, okay, that is used for storing the data and result, here multiple registers are used, okay, to store the data. So in this type of organization, the instruction format uses 2 or 3 address fields. Okay, so here if you see these instructions, add R1, R2, R3. The meaning of this instruction is add the content of R2, register R2. Okay, this is general purpose register R2 and R3, and store the result into R1. All the 3 registers are explicitly specified. Okay, so it stores the result in R1 and add R1. This is the 3 address instruction because there are 3 register addresses given. Okay, it may be one, both the addresses may be register addresses, okay, or it can be a one memory address and one register address. So here the second instruction, if you see, add R1, R2. Okay, here the add instruction always need 2 operands. Operand 1 and operand 2 is added. Okay, so here R1 plus R2. This is done. This is the operation, and there is no destination register specified in this instruction because it is a 2 address instruction and it is a computational instruction that performs some arithmetic operation. Okay, on 2 operands. The operands are in R1 and R2, that is added, and the resultant register is not specified. So by default, it takes the first register as the destination register. Here R1, register R1 acts as a source and destination register. The meaning is R1 is R1 plus R2. Okay, the content of register R1 and R2 are added and it is stored in R1. And move R1, R2. The meaning of it is move the content of register R2 to R1 and add R1, X. Okay, here we have a memory address. Okay, one register R1 and a memory address X is specified. Okay, so here the content of memory at location X is moved to R1, added, and it is an add instruction. So the content of memory, okay, at location X is added to R1 and the result is stored in R1. So in this type of organization, the second type, general register organization, uses these general purpose registers, okay, for storing the data and result in the processor. These type of instructions may have 3 addresses or 2 address fields. And the third type of organization is the CPU that has the data structure stack. Storage is organized in the form of stack. Okay, we know in stack what all the operations done, right? The operations performed are push. You can insert an element or you can remove an element by using this pop instruction. So the instructions are push and pop. And in the stack organization, the instructions may have a single address or zero address. Okay, why is zero address here? Take the first instruction, push X. So the value, the data at location X in memory is moved to the stack. Okay, that is TOS. What is TOS? Here is top of stack. Okay, the in stack at location top position. Okay, top location X. Okay, this data is moved to top of stack. Always the operation is performed at the top. We learned it. Okay, the data can be inserted only at the top and the data can be removed from the top position. So to do that, okay, we use this push instruction. And add, what this add operation does. Okay, during arithmetic expression, evaluation of arithmetic expression, okay, we learned that when this operation is encountered, okay, if the expression is AB plus, okay, when A operand is reached, it is pushed into the stack. And again, when B is reached, it is pushed into the stack because there is no operation to perform here. But when this operator comes, okay, the operation is performed on the top of the stack, two elements of stack. Okay, so here, when this instruction, when you give instruction add, okay, in stack organization computers, when you give the instruction add with no variables, okay, that means remove the top two elements of stack and perform addition on those two elements and push back the result into the stack. Okay, remove the top two elements, perform the operation addition and push back the result into the top of the stack. So you will have in top of the stack, you will have the result of, okay, addition. Okay, if suppose this is our expression, so the top of the stack will have A and B. Okay, A is inserted first, B is inserted. So when plus comes, it is addition. Okay, so A and B are removed and A plus B is performed and it is the result of this is inserted into the top of the stack. Here there is no address field. We don't have to specify the address field because by default add instruction in stack organization computer means remove the top two elements from the stack and perform addition. Okay, hope this is clear. We have learned here the CPU organizations, the different types of CPU organizations. Okay, the three most common CPU organization, because the number of address field in the instruction format depends on the CPU organization of the computer. Okay, the address field in the instruction format may have a single address or it may have more number of addresses, 2 or 3 addresses, or it may sometimes even have no address field. Okay, in that case, when there is no address field, the address is specified implicitly. Only happens in stack organization. Okay, there will not be an address, but automatically, okay, it means the top two elements of the stack. Single accumulator organization will have the single address format, and general register organizations will have 2 or 3 address formats. If this is clear, we'll move on to the next slide. Clear, okay. We can classify the types of instructions based on the number of address fields. Okay, based on the number of address fields, the instructions can be classified as 3 address instructions, 2 address instructions, 1 address instruction, and 0 address instructions. Okay, we'll learn about this later, RASC. Okay, based on the number of fields, yes, once again explain the stack organization. Stack organization is, okay, we have learned that in stack, correct, the data elements are the two operations performed, or you can push a data element into the stack and you can remove a data element, and always that is done at the top location, right? Top of stack. The pointer here is TOS, that is the register SP points to this particular location. So at the top of the stack, from the top of the stack, you can remove an element, or at this position, you can insert new element. These are the operations. So here we are learning all these organizations to understand the number of addressing field, okay, in the instruction formats. Single accumulator organization uses a single address. Add X, that means add the content of memory at location X to accumulator. Accumulator is not specified here explicitly. We have not given AC, a register, but this as it is in this organization, okay, it is automatically understood that the other operand is an accumulator. Okay, add as an instruction that add two operands. Correct, it cannot be performed in a single operand. But here the instruction has only a single operand, that is the data in X, memory at location X. So automatically, as it in this organization, single accumulator organization, it takes the content of accumulator as the second operand. And general register organization, the registers. And stack organization, okay, when the instructions are given, like push one address field, because we need to specify what is the data we are going to push into the stack. Even if you want to give pop instruction, okay, let's write pop. We need to specify, okay, what is where to store it. Okay, the item data element that is at the top of the stack need to be removed and stored in some location. So we have to specify the address. A single address is needed for push and pop instructions. But when you perform arithmetic operations such as add, addition, multiplication, okay, we don't need to have any address. By default in stack organization, how these operations are performed, the top two elements of stack is removed. Any operation is performed only on the data at the top two locations of the stack. Okay, if suppose you have 5 and 6, if I write add instruction, okay, in this organization, the add instruction means remove the data at the top two positions of the stack, that is 5 and 6, add both, okay, 5 plus 6, and give the result, store the result back to the stack. Okay, so it removes the data, add that, and store the result back to the stack, and that will be the top, okay, top location. Got it? So here stack organization uses a single address or no address. Okay, for these arithmetic instructions, doesn't need any address. Okay, by default, it is the top two elements of the stack. Push and pop instruction need a single address. Okay. What element to be, the data element that is to be inserted and the data element to be removed has to be specified. It is always the top one, but to store, we remove it and store it at location X. Understood? 554. Yes. So now the type of instructions based on the number of address fields are 3 address instructions, 2 address instructions, 1 address, and 0 address instructions. There's 3 address instructions and 2 address instructions uses each address field to specify either a processor register or a memory operand. Okay, the 3 and 2 address instructions generally uses, there will be 3 address fields or 2 address fields. Okay, so these address fields may be a processor register, address of a processor register, or a memory operand. Okay, and one address instructions uses an implied accumulator. Okay, because there is only one address, arithmetic operations all cannot be done in a single data. So the data in the accumulator is used as the second operand. Okay, implied accumulator. It is not explicitly specified because there is only one address, but accumulator is used as the other data. Okay, for data manipulation. And zero address instructions. Zero address instruction, as we have seen here, add instruction in stack organization. Generally, it is used in stack organized computer. It does not use address field for computational instructions such as add and multiplication. Okay, because the data are the top 2 elements of the stack. No need to specify the address. The top pointer, okay, pointer SP always will be pointing to the top of the stack. So we know what is top of the stack. And remove the add instruction says by default in stack organization, add means remove the top 2 elements of stack and perform the operation. Okay, give an operation on that and store back the resultant stack. Okay, so this instructions in add, computational instruction in stack, such as add and multiplication. Okay, add, multiplication, division, subtraction uses zero address. Okay, there will not be an address field in these kind of instructions. So to understand this, the influence of the number of addresses, okay, on computer instructions, let's evaluate the arithmetic expression. Let's take an expression here, x equal to a plus b star c plus d. Okay, and here let's assume that the operands a, b, c and d, okay, are in memory. In memory address a, what all these a, b, c, d here, these are the variables, right? Variables are used in generally in high level language when you write C programming. Okay, x equal to 0, or you're adding two numbers a and b. Okay, we take the variables a and b and we write s equal to a plus b. So these are all the variables or data names, right? The names given for the data elements we are using here. And in memory, to refer the data in memory, the programmers use these data names. Okay, the variables, we are comfortable with the names. We are not comfortable, but internally these are specified as address. Okay, how in memory this, if suppose we have in this expression we have the 4 operands used are A, B, C and D. Okay, how it is stored in memory? In the memory at a particular location there is A stored, okay, data A, and in some other location there is B. Okay, this way in the data part of the memory, right, the data segment, there is a program segment in memory, means the set of instructions are stored in one part of memory and the data is stored in other part of the memory. So in the data segment of the memory, these data are stored and they are named as A because we have assigned the name A, B, C and D for our data. But it is for a computer, it is understood by the address, right? Okay, if suppose this is location 100, okay, the address of this particular data, let's say this is 5 and B is 6. Okay, so here it is represented by the computer with the address. Okay, so memory at location address. And when we write program, we write memory at location A. Okay, we use the variables to represent the data. So let's say that the operands are Okay, operands A, B, C, and D, okay, of these instructions are stored in memory, and the result need to be stored back at particular location X. Okay, X is here, the expression is X equal to A plus B into C plus D. So the result need to be stored in X. Okay, so X is another location. These are all the locations in memory, operands in memory. And let's use some simple operations like add. Okay, these are all the symbols used in assembly language program to perform addition. Okay, we use add and MOV. Okay, let me write the arithmetic instructions first. Arithmetic operations add, sub, MUL for multiplication, and div. Okay, there is no standard no symbols used. That depends on the processes. Okay, it varies in different computers. Okay, so here we are using add, sub, MUL for multiplication, and div for division. Okay, for performing this these operations. Okay, to solve the expression, to evaluate this expression, we are going to use these operations. Okay, arithmetic operations. And for moving the data from memory, okay, A, B, C, and D are stored in memory, and the result need to be moved back to location X in memory. So we use move instruction, data transfer instruction, MOV. Okay, this instruction also is used in some processors use MOVE. Okay, that is different in different processors. Okay, so here we use MOV, the instruction MOV for moving the data and load and store. These instructions we are using to move the data, transfer the data between registers and memory. Okay, to move between register and memory, we are using load and store. Okay, so these are all our operations. We are going to discuss about these operations set, instruction set in detail, okay, later. Here our focus is in the address field. To understand that, okay, 3 address fields, 2 address fields, or 1 address or 0 address. Okay, to understand that, we are evaluating. So let's take three address instructions. How we can write instruction using 3 address to evaluate this this expression. The expression is X equal to A plus B into C plus D. And A, B, C, and D, C, D, and X are the memory operands. Okay, data in memory. So how we write this instruction? First part of the expression is A plus B, right? So let's take that part to add this. And here we can use 3 address fields. Okay, this instructions include 3 address fields. So using 3 address field, first instruction can be written as add A comma B, and let's store it in a temporary register R1. Okay, here because we need 3 address here, we need to specify 3 addresses, and the address may be a processor register address or it may be a memory location. Okay, memory address. So when you write add R1 A comma B means add the content of A and B at memory location A and B and store it in register R1. So the meaning of this instruction is R1 is memory word at location A plus memory word at location B. Okay, so we get A plus B in R1. Okay, in register R1, this is R1, we will have the result of A plus B. Okay, the result of this operation is there. And what is the next part of? Second part of this instruction is C plus D. Okay, so how we write the instruction using 3 address fields. We write add C and D. Okay, we need to add C and D and store it in some temporary register. Okay, some general purpose register R2. Okay, so this instruction add the content of memory word C and D and store it in store the result in register R2. Correct? So it is R2 is memory at location C plus memory at location D. How many address fields are there in these instructions? There are 3 address fields. Okay, the first instruction has register R1, memory location A and memory B. And second instruction has register R2, memory location C and memory location D. And now the third part of the instruction is multiply these two. Okay, A plus B and C plus D. Okay, so the third instruction is we write MUL. Okay, this is the instruction for multiplication. What all the result A plus B is in R1. Okay, here we have R2, register R2 that has C plus D, correct? Okay, now these two are multiplied. Okay, so multiply R1 and R2. And where we need to store the result, what could be the first address? X. Okay, the result need to be stored in X in the instruction. X equal to A plus B into C plus D. So we take a memory address here. Okay, we give a memory address X. So the meaning of this is memory at location X. Okay, here store the result of R1 into R2. We have the first, the result, intermediate result of A plus B in R1 and C plus D is there in R2. Now perform multiplication. Okay, there is multiplication between. So here perform R1 into R2 and move the result to memory, okay, location X. Okay, so this is a simple program, assembly language program using 3 address fields. Okay, this way we write instructions to evaluate this expression. And if we write the same with 2 address fields, okay, we need to write instructions for the same now with 2 address fields. How we write it? We can't give 3 address here. Okay, so we need to take the addresses. Yeah, we need to have 2 address. We can have 2 address. It can be either a register address or a memory address. So first the operand A in memory need to be moved in a temporary register. Okay, so let's take the operand A, okay, that is in memory, and move it to register, okay, a general purpose register R1. What this instruction does, it moves the content of memory operand A, okay, to register R1. And now we need to have the second variable to perform A plus B. The second variable is B. So we need to move this to another register. Okay, you can write move R2 comma B. Okay, this moves the content of B in memory to R2, register R2. Now you can perform addition, right? Add. What all to be added here? A is in the data in memory at location A is moved to R1 and B is moved to R2. So we need to add R1 and R2. Okay, so the instruction would be R1 comma R2. Okay, and always we try to, whenever you write a high level language program or assembly language instructions, we try to reduce the number of instructions. Okay, the more number of instructions we have, the program will be lengthy and the time it takes will be more to execute. These instructions, instead of writing these instructions, can I write one statement here? It is add, as we can use 2 address fields. The first A is in R1. So we can write R1 comma B. Correct. We don't need to write these 2 statements here. Okay, generally as we move the first operand in R1, second operand to R2, and then the general procedure is add R1 and R2. So the result will be there in R1. We can write this way, or to make it more simpler, Okay, we reduce these steps. Okay, we replace these steps with add R1. R1 is already A, and the memory, no, the data at memory location B is added to R1, and the result gets stored in R1. Okay, so these instructions add R1 comma B. What this instruction does, it adds the content of R1 to memory operand B. Okay, adds these value. R1 is A. What is in R1? It is already A is moved to R1. So A plus B is added and it is stored in R1. So we have the result, the partial result of A plus B in R1. Now we have to do the same for the second part of the instruction, C plus D. So let's move, take another register, R2, and move C. Okay, so this operation is moving the content of memory at location C to R2 and perform addition. Add R2, already C is there in R2 and memory, memory operand D. So this performs addition of R2, that is C plus D. Correct? Okay, so we have the partial results in register R1 and R2 now. A plus B is there in R1 and C plus D is in R2. Now the next step is to multiply A plus B and C plus D, that is in R1 and R2. So we write the instruction multiply. We can use only two instructions. If it is 3 address instruction, we can give multiply X comma R1 comma R2. Correct? What this does, multiply the content of R1 and R2 and move the result to X, store the result in X, but it is a 2 address instruction. So we can write only this MUL multiply R1, R2. So what this instruction does, it multiplies R1, the content of register R1 and R2, and move the result by default, okay, into the first register, that is R1. We'll have the result in R1. Now, according to our expression, the result should be in X, memory address X. Okay, so we need to write another move instruction here. Move the content of R1 to X. X is a memory location, R1 is a general purpose register. So this instruction, move the content of R1, that is the result, into memory location X. Okay, now we have replaced these three instructions. Okay, the three instructions we wrote here using 3 address fields with 2 address fields. Okay, so here how many instructions are there in 3 address instructions? For evaluating the same expression, we have 3 instructions here. And if you see in this 2 address instructions, we have 6. The number of instructions are increased. Okay, so that is the advantage of when you have 3 address instructions, the number of instructions are reduced. Okay, but every instruction would be complicated. Every instruction, if you take separately, it will occupy more number of bits are added, right? Okay, so to execute each and every instruction, the time is more. Okay, but the total cycle time, if you see, it will be reduced compared to 2 address instructions, because the number of instructions are less in 3 address instructions.